Okay. Can we get a motion to approve and accept the agenda?
So moved.
Hello?
Second.
Thank you. Can we get a second? All in
Second.
favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
No, aye is for all in favor, right?
Yeah.
Is any opposed? Okay, motion carries. Can we get a motion to approve the minutes of May 20th?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Second? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, what's going on with this? Is there a delay? This is, okay. Any opposed? Okay, good. We have a guest speaker, Ben Downing, who is running for governor as a Democrat in the 2022 race. Ben, welcome. We're happy to have you.
Thanks so much, Deborah, and everyone for having me. I really do appreciate it. First, I just want to say thanks. I think the last thing any of us want to see in our email inboxes these days is another Zoom link, given how many of them that we've all been on in one form or another over the last year plus. So I appreciate you all taking the time to come out here and be together in the way that we can today. Like Deborah said, my name is Ben Downing, and I'm running for governor to build a fairer, stronger Massachusetts. I think it's important to start and recognize the reality we've all been through for the last year. This past year has been brutal. We've lost too many friends, too many family members, too many loved ones, too many neighbors. And while we're finally starting to see signs of light after so much darkness, it's important to remember that we're still hurting. Yes, because of the virus, but also because our leaders didn't prepare us for it. And that left all of us, but particularly the most vulnerable, exposed. If we're going to get out of this and rebuild from COVID, then we need leaders who have learned the lessons behind all that loss, all that pain. We need to expect more from those who serve us and be honest about how we got here. That's why I'm running for governor. I grew up in Pittsfield, a city that struggled and had to fight for itself. I know what it is to get knocked down. My city got knocked down as I was growing up. GE left and took all the jobs, and we were left cleaning up and rebuilding. The message kids in my generation heard was clear: study hard and get out. The best days for your hometown are behind. Unfortunately, I think that story sounds familiar to a lot of folks across this state, from Brockton and Fall River, Springfield, Lawrence, and many other communities. My family got knocked down too when my dad and my little brother, Nate, died suddenly from heart disease less than 10 years apart. They were the center of my world, my role model, and my best friend, who would have been my best man at the wedding that year. So I also know what it takes to get back up, to grow stronger at the broken places. I know what it is to have your community rally around you and hold you up when you don't know if you could stand without them. Loss shaped the kind of person that I am and the leader that I strive to be. It deepened my empathy and fueled my sense of urgency. It pushed me to run for the Senate. I got into a race with a lot of candidates who had longer resumes than me. My campaign was dismissed like young people too often are, until we won. Then I went on to serve the largest Senate district in Massachusetts for 10 years, leading efforts to increase clean energy production, to fight poverty and hunger, to expand civil rights protections for our transgender neighbors, and much more. After 5 terms, I kept a promise I made in that first election and term limited myself. I went to work in the private sector building climate change solutions. My wife, Michaela, and I moved here to East Boston, and I will apologize if a plane flies over during our discussions here. I'm just getting used to the flight patterns again. Our sons, Malcolm and Eamon, joined us, and we learned the only thing more renewable than solar energy is a toddler's commitment to tire and terrify their parents every single day. Now, East Boston is 150 miles away from Pittsfield. Different in a million ways, but similar at the core, and similar to so many other communities across Massachusetts. Tough, striving, creative, generous places that have had to fight so much harder than they should to get Beacon Hill to pay attention and for them to get the equitable access to resources that they need. And that's why I'm here today, because I have seen and lived the difference that state leadership makes. I know what it feels like to be written off. I know that too many suffer when those in power think they can continuously kick the can down the road. If we're going to build a fairer, stronger Massachusetts, if we're going to recover from this collective trauma and loss, if we're going to become stronger at the broken places together, we need all of our leaders to have a renewed sense of urgency, starting with our governor. For the last 6 years, Charlie Baker, with little pushback from Beacon Hill, has squandered opportunity after opportunity to address the biggest challenges facing Massachusetts families. On climate, on transit, on childcare, on education, on COVID response. He has all the political capital in the world, but he hasn't spent it on our behalf. And too often our leaders have let him get away with it. We need a governor who sees, who feels, who understands the impacts of economic and racial disparities, the urgency of climate change, the consequences of healthcare inequity. Because someday, and hopefully it is coming soon, hopefully we are approaching it, COVID will be in the past. We're getting our vaccines. We're starting to see our friends and our family members again. But as we do, we need to remember that there are no vaccines for poverty or racism or climate change. We can't go back to the normal that failed to take them on. I'm running because I see these problems. I see the same tired old politics that let them persist. And I refuse to accept that returning to that normal is good enough. I'm running because I believe our potential is limitless. I believe out of this darkness, we can build a better and brighter tomorrow for everyone everywhere. But we can't do that if returning to normal is our goal. We can't do that if we wait for Charlie Baker's approval ratings to magically drop. We can't do that with poll-tested sound bites and TV ads. We can't do that by letting insiders anoint our party's nominee. We do it the only way we know how. Door to door, conversation by conversation, community to community. That work has to start now. My name is Ben Downing. I'm running for governor to start that work. I'm running for governor to build a fairer, stronger Massachusetts. And if I'm lucky enough to earn your support over the course of this campaign, I'd invite you to be a part of our work, and I look forward to the opportunity to earn your trust. Thanks so much for having me, and I look forward to answering some questions this evening. Thank you.
Okay, questions for Ben? Someone? Jean? You're on mute though.
I'll take one. I have a statement I like to make. How you doing, Ben? My name is Randy Tatum.
Randy,
Yes, I just have an observation. Charlie Baker, 6 years as governor, and he hasn't announced for re-election. And meanwhile, his lieutenant governor is amassing a great fortune for her nomination. So I think there might be a bait and switch on this at the long run, because I personally think that Baker might be looking at Elizabeth Warren's seat, because everyone talks how popular he is, and she has a lot of money, So I look forward to having a large Democratic field so we can get the best candidate, and So I think that will be the best thing for us. So that's the only comment I have right now.
No, I agree completely on the big field. I think we are well served as Democrats to have a big, wide open debate. We have a lot of talented people in Massachusetts with good ideas. The more of them involved, the more campaigns involved, the more volunteers they bring in, the more energy they bring in. Let's go have a big positive debate about how we take on the big challenges around climate, economic fairness, racial justice, and equity. I've got my ideas. I know other candidates will have theirs. Let's all get it out there.
Good. Okay, Jean, you had a question, but you were stuck on mute for a minute there.
Yeah, Ben, thanks for coming and speaking to us. You've talked about it, you've said you have your ideas, specifically take one like childcare, for instance. What are your ideas about that, and where would you get the money?
Right. So working on that right now, Gene. So that'll actually be the next policy plan that we roll out. So we've rolled out one on climate, one specifically focused on economic equity with goals to eliminate child poverty by 2030 and child hunger by 2030. I'll make sure to drop the links to those plans right into the chat so that you all have them. On childcare, I think the basic framework is going to look pretty similar to the Common Start initiative that the Coalition for Social Justice, the Mass Business Roundtable, and others have come together around the legislation that Senator Lewis has filed. So an equity funding formula to ensure universal access to early education and childcare. And this is a personal issue, right? Like my wife and I know how lucky we are, how much privilege we have to have flexible work, to have had our jobs through the pandemic. And yet our now 1-year-old son, Eamon, the first plan for Eamon's childcare was to be on campus at BU where Michaela works. That closed. Our backup facility here in East Boston closed as well. And the first 3 months after Michaela's leave, we were juggling in between meetings. You take Eamon for an hour, I've got Eamon for an hour. And again, we know how lucky we were to have flexible work that allowed for that, as opposed to a lot of my neighbors here in East Boston, frontline workers, workers who we said were essential, but then had to leave their kids at home or had to juggle that work and threaten their families by being out there in the middle of a pandemic. So under the Common Start initiative, we would have universal access. It would be free, paid through taxes for those who make 50% of the median income or below. And for everyone 50% and above, there would be a cap on the cost of childcare as 7% of your overall wages. That would be financed. I think the thinking for the initiative right now is that it's financed through the Fair Share Amendment. One of the policy plans that I will roll out is a comprehensive tax reform plan that will provide the resources to fund that initiative. It'll be one of the key investments that we make. And it's one of the key ways, it addresses equity at the front end of the educational program. By investing in that workforce, we're investing in a workforce that is predominantly a women workforce, predominantly women of color. And too often they're paid poverty wages. We need to recognize the value of that work, invest in it there, and make sure that achievement gaps don't take hold at those earliest years. So that's the broad framework. More details to fill in soon.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Sally had her hand up. Sally?
Thank you very much. So Ben Downey, you're from Pittsfield, as am I. I think there's a couple of other people here from the Berkshires, and you just nailed it in terms of you educate yourself so you can leave. And that really has to stop in terms of the other towns and cities that you mentioned. So thank you very much. A shout out for thinking that type of thinking. The environment and solar, I'm also thinking about some of the solar fields where they just clear cut side of a hill for solar. So how do you get us to solar and wind?
So a couple of different things. One of them, and there's no way, and my staff is going to cringe as I start to answer this question because there's no way to do it without completely geeking out, but we need to change the way the utilities rates are made. So New York has gone through a significant process, reforming the energy vision process, where they have effectively opened the utilities books wide open and completely changed how their rates are made, specifically with the goal of climate in mind. And then not just climate anywhere, because it's not enough to just get a solar project anywhere, but it ought to be closer to people, built on the built environment, wherever and whenever we can. And you do that by prioritizing or adding a premium for electricity that comes closer to the built environment. New York has done this very well, and there is a lot that we can learn from that process. On offshore wind, the good thing is a lot of the mapping process has already gone on. What we need to do is be more aggressive with our procurements, larger procurements more often. But along with that, we also need to say to the companies that are winning those contracts, you've got to show economic development benefits, job benefits, and investment here in Massachusetts. I wrote the first bill that the current projects won contracts on that are just getting built now, right? Which was largely the Trump administration holding them up. But the thing that we could have done a better job on, that New York and New Jersey have beat us on, they said, if you're going to win our contract, you're going to make an investment in our state. those states are getting the jobs and the economic development benefits of doing the right thing on climate. We were in the position to do that, and Governor Baker missed the boat on it. So those are some of the steps that we can take. And again, I'll drop the link on the climate plan into the chat for some of the more specifics there.
Thank you.
Thank you. Other questions for Ben? Ben, you should give us your information for your campaign.
Absolutely. I'll make sure to drop it in the chat along with my email for folks who have any other questions and the couple of policy proposals that we've rolled out thus far. But really just appreciate everyone taking the time, coming out, appreciate the questions, and hope everyone remains healthy, safe, and well. And I look forward to being with you when we can all be together soon, and to probably seeing you through a screen or two over the course of the next couple of months here.
Great. Thank you, Ben. Thank you for coming. Good luck to you. You're
Thank
welcome to
you.
stay, but I can imagine you probably don't want to. But
For a little bit, I will. For a little bit, for sure.
okay, Secretary's report. Austin? You're on mute.
Unmute myself. Yeah. One thing, sorry, Mary Kate, to steal a little bit of your thunder, but we already received a thank you note from one of the scholarship winners. So I'll go ahead. It's just a short note. Dear Mansfield Town Committee, thank you so much for awarding me the Charlene and Harrison Straley Memorial Scholarship. I'm grateful for this scholarship as it will greatly aid my family in affording college. I will be attending Simmons University in the fall, then transferring to Cornell University next year to study industrial and labor relations with the goal of becoming a union organizer for political campaigns. Thank you again. Sincerely, Daniel Donovan.
Nice.
So,
All
that
right.
is all.
That is all. Okay, treasurer's report. Lisa's not here. She's traveling for work, but I have her report. Activity from last month is a $200 donation from Austin and Mark. Thank you, Austin and Mark. And we now have a balance of $1,681.35 after having paid for the 2 scholarships. So that's not bad. Okay. Outreach officers report.
Okay. Can you hear me okay? Yep,
Yeah.
good. Okay, so thanks everyone for coming for those who came to Pride. The flag raising was a huge success with almost 50 people participating or attending. I hope everyone has had a chance to see the video, which has been airing on Mansfield Cable Access and is available online, also at our Facebook page. All the presentations were wonderful, including those by Reps Phillips and Scanlon and Senator Feeney. The second Pride event, the Sidewalk Coloring Fest, was also a success and provided a chance to talk with community members about our committee. Please check out the pictures on our social media accounts. And huge thanks to Dana, who organized it, and also to Annette and Julia, who helped monitor the sidewalk in that oppressive heat. Next is Juneteenth, 9 days. Please join us in Walpole. There'll be several other progressive organizations there to network with, such as Walpole Peace and Justice, Progress Norwood, and the Anti-Racism Coalition of Dedham. There'll also be food and wonderful entertainment. This will be at the Walpole Common from 4 to 8. We are still looking for volunteers to help with our tables, as well as to help us put the finishing touches on our storyboards. One is Juneteenth history, and the other is Black excellence in Mansfield. As I mentioned last month, Deborah Britt will be in Attleboro. Progress continues on the Canoe River Nature Heritage Trail. The Mansfield Historical Commission and the Mansfield Historical Society are both very interested in this project. Huge thanks to Mike Trowbridge and Alex Rothschild for donating their services, and it's been great working with Colin Caldwell. This is really coming together. Last month, we mentioned a book group. An announcement is forthcoming. Please stay tuned. I sent Austin a flyer for Walpole Juneteenth, and I hope that he'll be able to put that online. Okay.
Yeah, Dana had actually emailed me today to send out a special plea for people that you really need people to sign up for some shifts for the one in Walpole, right? That you don't have enough people.
Yeah,
so
I think we could always use some more help.
she just says Joe and Brendan and herself.
And Jean Southard is coming.
Oh, good, Jean. She said she'd heard rumor Jean might come, but she wasn't sure. So I guess she wants to know times and whatnot.
And I know that Nancy is also looking for volunteers to help support our booth. So
Oh,
Yeah,
Wait,
it's all,
isn't this our booth? I'm confused. Isn't this our booth?
it's all the same booth. We
Okay.
are calling
So
it
Nancy will be there too.
Yeah, we're calling it Mansfield Votes booth because they don't want anything political. And thank goodness we have Mansfield Votes, our nonpartisan.
Oh, okay,
vote
okay. Oh, I didn't
table.
realize that. I didn't
So
realize
there we
that.
go.
All
Yeah,
right.
it's all the same.
I'd like to ask one question on the Juneteenth. People involved with Walpole, why didn't they develop something here in Mansfield?
It was very, I think, Randy, I came to the road to diversity and understanding, and there really wasn't a sense that they wanted to do that. And the Walpole folks came to us in February and March. And I was really keen on Juneteenth because I think it just says so much positivity of we need equality now. You know, so that's where we went with it. And it looks like it's going to be a nice thing. Maybe next year we do something in Mansfield. I would love that.
Right. I've been involved with Juneteenth for a number of years and
Sure.
programs in Boston. And right now I get 2 or 3 things for that day. So I'll try to make it to Walpole at some point.
Randy, this is Rodney. I just want to say that it wasn't that they weren't going to do anything in Mansfield. It's just that Attleboro had already started having their program, and a lot of us jumped on board with that. They were going to have vendors and everything, so more people, and it was at Cape on Park. So it was seen that they could bring kids and everything, and it was a place that they, but anyway, that's what happened. Attleboro came up with their idea, so then we ended up joining that one.
And Attleboro's is in the morning, right? Attleboro's is in the morning and Walpole's
It's
is in
from
the
11
afternoon.
11 to 5.
11
Yeah.
to 5 and Walpole's is 4 to 8. So
Yeah, something like
you
that.
could go to both. Yeah.
The good news is that more people are aware of Juneteenth, and that's the real good news. And
That's
a wider population down here in southeastern Massachusetts. So that's great.
Yes. Okay. So that's it, Sally?
That's it.
All
Thank you,
right.
Sally.
Old business. Okay. We have the caucus on June 26th. We had sent out an email asking if people were interested in becoming delegates. Joe had suggested maybe we wanted to do a slate. I'm not, yeah. It's a weird year in that, with the coronavirus and everything, people haven't really thought about, I don't know, going to a convention. But there's a virtual option also. So if you are interested in being a delegate, and we have several slots. What do we have, Joe? 12? You're on mute. You're on mute.
it's 11.
We're electing 11 delegates and 4 alternates.
11 and 4. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
divided by gender. And there are already 4 of us who are ex officio. So that are going. So it's wide open, It could be a challenge to fill those seats. So I think if anyone's even a little bit interested, they should step up. The convention itself is September 25th in Lowell.
yeah, Hugh said he was interested and Sally's interested.
Who did? Hugh Boyd?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I just dropped the link for the Zoom registration into the chat. It's also on our website and on Facebook. In order so that we have a good record of everyone who attends, the state committee suggested that we do this Zoom meeting with registration. You'll get the link to join the meeting immediately upon registering. So
it shouldn't take that long. If it's just, we're having it on a Saturday morning, and we're just going to get together and vote for the delegates and get out, right? Unless there's something else to do.
And if anybody has questions, ask anyone on the state committee or ask Deb if they want to know more about it. The convention is about adopting a state party platform this year.
Yeah, state party platform. And Austin has been very schooled in running the caucuses, as has Brendan.
as Brendan,
So
yes.
they know things. So feel free to
Yes,
ask them as well.
Also a reminder, although everyone is encouraged to run as a delegate, there's also the opportunity to apply to be an add-on delegate in a number of unrepresented categories. Underrepresented, sorry.
Yeah. Sorry, Austin. I just wanted to add that August 9th is the deadline for those add-on delegates. Sorry about that.
I would
No worries.
encourage anyone who's interested, though, to look at running in the caucus.
Yes.
The state party, when they're electing these add-on delegates, really favor people who have tried to get elected in the caucus. And of course, if you get elected in the caucus, there's no need to even apply to be an add-on. So
Yeah.
I think it's great that we bring up the add-on delegates, but I think we should really focus on the caucus right now.
Right.
Until it happens.
I think we have plenty of room, people, so please think about coming to the convention. All right. Okay, last month we had someone from Acton, Massachusetts, who they're looking for more transparency on Beacon Hill, and he emailed me afterwards and said he was looking for our endorsement. He didn't say that while he was with us. So I forwarded that out to everybody. And I don't know if you have a chance to look at it or if you remember it, but can we get a motion to endorse Acton, Massachusetts? Or some discussion therein?
I'll make a
Seeing-
motion to endorse that.
Okay, do we get a second?
Second.
Okay. Okay, any discussion? Hugh, you're on mute. Joe?
I was just seconding.
Okay,
Oh, okay. You know, I've looked into this. I've looked at their website. I'm a little concerned. I'm finding that there is a push for transparency, which we're all for, but I have to say I'm not finding a lot of transparency from this particular organization. I'm not finding who's behind them, who's funding them. I thought a lot of good questions were asked of the speaker. The speaker seems to be a very nice young man. Hope he stays active in politics regardless of what happens with this issue. But I think there's a lot of unanswered questions still. The website didn't help.
what kind of unanswered questions?
I mean, I don't remember them verbatim, but I know there were questions about, you know, what will it look like? What's different? What don't you like now that will change under this law? And I definitely get some of the concerns people have with the State House and some of the mechanisms of the State House. I really do. I've run into it. But I've also seen instances, and I'll use the marriage equality as an example. When that was passed, it was a hard-fought battle, and a lot of constituents and a lot of very young people who just were coming out, this issue brought them out and talked to their legislators and talked to committees. And a lot of it wasn't done in sunshine. A lot of it was personal feelings and personal stories that people wanted to share and needed to share. That if it was a big committee meeting out in public, I'm not sure that side would have.
Well, I'm not sure they're talking about any conversation you have with your representative, all of a sudden it has to be made public, are they? I mean, that's not.
Sometimes it goes to committees. I mean, that's the point too. We're not sure. And those concerns haven't been answered. I was able to do a little bit of research, not a whole lot, but it kind of connects with another idea I have. I really think when resolutions come forth of any kind, there should be some kind of resolutions committee that can really, you know, maybe 5 people, I don't know, that can really get into the weeds of the pro and cons and really study it hard.
That's a good idea.
I don't think regardless of what we do today on this particular issue, I'm not ready to support this.
Okay, anybody else?
So I just like to ask.
I'm sorry, what? Randy? Sally has her
Yes.
hand up, then you.
I had my hand. Okay, I think getting another perspective is excellent, and this is about our state legislators. So let's ask Ted Phillips to chime in on this, for instance, or some, you know, our elected representatives. How does this impact them and their ability to do the work?
Okay, I think that's a good idea, actually.
And I like Joe's idea as well.
Well,
then
that's
when
a good
our
idea. We
vote
could
really-
table this and ask one of our representatives to come talk about it. That actually is a good, very good idea, I think. Randy?
I was in that last month's meeting, so when you say move on, are they associated with the national move on
No, no,
organization?
act on, not move on.
Oh, okay,
Act
sorry.
on. Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry about that.
But I sent it out. Maybe here's what we should do. Maybe we should table this. And I like Sally's idea about it, asking one of our state reps what they think. And
Deb, this is Jackie, and I have a suggestion that if there's a for and against, we have both sides.
okay, well, okay.
I don't know, but I think just to be fair that.
Right. But if we ask a couple of our state reps, then they would be saying, this is how it impacts me. Right? I mean, they're the ones working in the trenches. So as opposed to people with opinions, they're the ones who are actually.
Correct. Right.
So I kind of like that idea. So can we get a motion to table this until we can pull some people together?
I move that we table it.
Okay, Jean, thank you. Second?
Jackie seconds.
All right, good.
And to clarify, I don't want to misspeak for Jackie, to have a pro legislator and a anti-legislator, specifically for this act out, right? Is it act out? Whatever it is.
Act on mass.
Act on, excuse me. Yeah, because like Hawkins is against it. Is there a legislator that's for it?
Is Hawkins against it? No, this is what I'm saying. Well, why don't we ask our own legislators, Ted and Adam?
Adam's pledged on. He's supporting.
Oh, he has? Okay, good to know. Okay, Joe?
Correct me if I'm wrong, Jackie. I think what Jackie was proposing was not only legislators, but we had Act On come and speak, the pro organization. I think she was also talking about if it exists, an organization that opposes it to present that side.
Just to give both sides of the story.
I don't know if one, I mean, I don't know if one exists and no one's asked to speak to us.
I know.
But I do like the idea of asking people who actually work on Beacon Hill.
Okay.
Okay, so Jean?
I think we should not just stick with our own legislators, though. I think somebody like Jim Hawkins, who's representing a normally red district, would have some eye-opening things to say about the issues that we should hear.
Yeah, sure. The more information, the better.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have a motion on the floor to table this.
Yes, and I believe I second it.
Okay, so
Yes.
Can we get a vote here? All in favor of
Aye.
tabling?
Aye.
All right. All right, we will invite some legislators to come talk to us about it. Okay. Fundraising. Mary Kate?
There's no report.
Okay.
Nothing going on.
Mansfield votes. Nancy, Brendan.
Everybody, let's see. Today, I believe Suzanne Ironman or the Democratic Town Committee sent out on behalf of Suzanne Ironman and the Mansfield Group's vote subcommittee the survey to members. I hope that you've all received it. And if you haven't, it should be in your email. And I did it before the meeting tonight. It took me maybe 7 minutes, 10 minutes. So ask that everybody fill it out, and it's online. You just have to answer the questions and hit next, and you get to complete that survey. If you haven't received it for some reason, you could check in with Austin on that, or Suzanne or me, just to let somebody know that you didn't receive it. But it would be really helpful if you could fill it out and appreciate it. A lot of work went into developing it, so it would be appreciative to the person who put it together, which was Suzanne.
It came from Suzanne's email, so maybe that might not jump out at you. So.
Then Brendan, after last month, we had some comments on the pamphlet. And I think that it's been completely updated. So I don't know if we need to put that forth to the committee for a vote.
Yes, we should. We asked everybody to do their homework and look at it. So.
And so, go ahead, Annette, I see your hand.
Annette, go ahead.
My question relates to the questionnaire that you sent out. I did receive it, and just before the meeting, I filled it out and sent it back. But at the same time, I had gone through all of the work that you did on organizing the work of the committee and making it public as to what each part of the committee does. And I think the work that you did actually answers a lot of the questions, because a lot of the questions that people might have about, well, the committee should be doing certain things. If you look at the program of work that you set out for the committee, you can see that many of the questions people could have had are answered by that. You know, that like the campaign committee does certain things, and it's very specific who does the work. So I just wanted to throw that out. I found it, I mean, I answered the survey, but at the same time, I felt, you know, we're halfway there. And the only thing I saw that was missing is overall participation from more of the membership. There are a few people that are doing tons of work, and a lot of people that are not doing a lot of work. But, you know, and that's the way it's going to be. But yes, to engage more of the membership, I think would be a great thing. And having the survey out there might encourage people to be more active. And thanks for all your work, Nancy.
Yeah, really, I have to say on this piece, it's really been Suzanne and Brendan who have put all the work into it. Annette, I appreciate that. I think it'll be interesting to see if the survey reveals what you said. But we're really looking forward to hearing what people have to say. I don't know, Suzanne, do you have anything else to add, or are we all set on that?
No, thanks. I just appreciate whoever fills it out, and I'll create a report to share when I get all of that. And it is anonymous, which I tried to take care to say a couple times, just that your email address or your name isn't tied to it. So, right. You know, and not that I expect someone to have something super private or horrific to say, but, you know, if someone really wants to say, like, I've been disappointed by, you know, this event that took place, or the fact that the committee isn't, you know, going in this direction. We just want to provide a forum for someone to say, like, hey, there's this issue, this very local or regional issue. I really wish we could take it up. If someone hasn't, you know, felt free to say that already, this would be a great way for things like that to come out.
Thank you, Suzanne. Okay, so we'll turn to the pamphlet next. I think Brendan updated it based on some suggestions from Annette and Deb. And I don't think we received any other feedback on it, unless we've already talked to somebody before the meeting last month. And so we'd like to, I don't know if we can get somebody to make a motion to approve that pamphlet. We would be using it for new members. We could be using it at events.
I think it's great, Nancy. I think you guys did a wonderful job, you and Brendan. Really, I think Nancy had said to me that when she first joined, she had all these questions, and you know, this sort of it answers a lot of questions on one piece of paper. I think they did an awesome job. And I've been over it with a fine tooth comb. I think it looks great. So it'd be great if somebody could make a motion to accept this, so we'd have it available soon.
I move
Donate
the pamphlet.
in the second.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay. Motion carries unanimously. And now, go ahead.
One last piece, which is the mission statement and the action plan. Again, I think it's something that can be revised, and it's intended to be something that will be revised on an annual, if not, it can even be revised on a semi-annual basis, but at minimum on an annual basis. And it's just intended to either document what subcommittees are doing, or what they're doing and give them kind of not necessarily direction, but support for moving forward on certain pieces of their agenda. And also giving clarity, as maybe Annette mentioned, to people in general in the town committee, so that they can kind of understand, well, if they join this committee, here might be some of the things that they'll be working on. I wondered if anybody had any questions or comments on that we haven't already heard before we ask for a motion on that.
Any questions or comments about the mission statement? Okay. Can we get a motion to accept the mission statement as presented?
So move.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, awesome. Good, great job, Mansfield votes. Thank you. Okay, let's see. The ad hoc committee on go ahead, sorry.
I'm so sorry. I have one last thing related to June 19th. So I'm still looking for somebody who might have a pickup truck. I don't know if anybody remembers, but at Family Fun Night, we had a children's voting booth, and we could kind of do something like that again on June 19th. If we have transportation for this little voting booth. So if anybody can provide that, that would be helpful. And Sally, I don't think you know, but Martha volunteered as well. I haven't passed that information on to you. Okay, that's it. Thanks.
Thank you, Martha. Or would it fit in a van? Would it fit in a minivan?
Possibly.
Voting booth? Oh, possibly.
I'll measure it, Deb. Do you have a minivan?
Okay, yes.
I
Okay.
can see if I can borrow my son's pickup. If not, I have a trailer at work and we can bring a bunch of stuff around. So we'll get it done.
All right, thanks you.
Okay, good. All right, local committee reports. No one from the ad hoc committee on election support is here. Colin emailed me today, they wouldn't be able to come. So we'll move on to scholarship committee.
Okay, so the scholarships were announced last week at Scholarship Night at Mansfield High School, and we had two great recipients. You heard the note from one of them earlier, Danielle Donovan. She's going to be going to Simmons and Cornell. And our second recipient is Aditi Junagade, and she's going to be going to University of Pittsburgh in neuroscience. Both of them have really strong social justice backgrounds already. So we're great,
Nice
great candidates.
Nice to be able to support those kids.
Mhm.
I have a question. I heard that Danielle was going to be interested in being a union organizer. Is that what was said by Austin earlier?
Yeah, and she's already done a lot of that kind of work, as a matter of fact. And she most recently, she sounded like she was trying to organize some of the volunteers for Ed Markey's campaign. Wow. And then was working with a campaign in Boston as well. But she's planning to go into labor relations at Cornell.
Wow, and that's where my attorney went to Cornell too. If there's any way that I can help with any connection, especially up in, I sent Deb a notice for the Labor Guild for classes, and they have a young person's connection group there. The Labor Guild class next week is putting on a parliamentary procedures and bylaws from this woman. She's the best in the country actually on giving parliamentary procedure courses. And but there's a whole network for this Labor Guild up in Boston. I'd be more than happy to introduce her to this group. Be very good.
Oh, that's wonderful. She's actually, I know her mother too, and I can pass that information along.
Well, we can, can we send that out to everybody, what you sent me today? I just saw it right before the meeting, so.
Absolutely.
We'll forward it out to everybody, and then Mary Kate, you can send it to her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Labor Guild, well, we can do that under a different topic, I guess, if you want to.
Yeah, but that's interesting. I thought Markey's campaign workers were unionized. Did she do that?
Yeah, well, when she was talking about social justice, she was saying that we have to start at home basically and practice what you preach, and how, they were relying on all of this unpaid labor to organize the campaigns, but that really dissuades people who don't have the means to donate their labor from being part of the campaigns. And it was really a very well thought out essay.
Wow. All right. That's awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Okay, membership committee. Joe?
Oh, I thought I was on mute. We're having a meeting. That's really the only thing I have to announce right now. We're having a meeting on Monday, June 21st, 7 p.m. on Zoom. So anyone who signed up will get a notice along with an agenda. I've had discussions with Colin and with Brendan, and I think others about this. We're really trying to pull in the Blueprint 22 that has been, and I discussed this with Randy too, the Blueprint 22 that the state party is putting out. I think this is a good way to organize around membership and also Colin's outreach efforts. I think not only for this year, but I think we can carry it forward into the future. So if there's anyone's interested in joining the membership committee, let me know. We do have a few members already. And as I said, those people will be getting notices about it.
All right, great. Okay, other local committees. Am I forgetting a committee? Anybody? Is there a committee that wants to speak that I'm not thinking of? All right. No. How about state committee?
I have nothing.
Okay,
Oh,
Joe, Randy?
Joe mentioned Blueprint 22, and well, this is about organizing precinct captains, and we're looking for developing relationships, and there's different organizations right here in Mansfield. We can grow that pretty good. So hopefully this is a state committee effort, but they really want to get to the grassroots. So you'll be hearing a lot more about this coming up. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Randy. Joe, anything?
Well, I think we covered the state convention. As I said, it'd be nice if we could send, if not a full delegation, at least as many people as possible. I think it's the type of year anyone who wants to go can go. So it'd be a shame to keep any seats unfilled.
I think Mansfield always has a full committee, don't they?
Yeah. Okay, thank you. Young Neponset Valley Young Democrats, Brendan.
This weekend upcoming is the Young Democrats of Massachusetts annual convention. So if you want to join us for the exciting weekend, we have Senator Markey has been confirmed. We have at least one or two other people that have been announced. I can't remember off the top of my head. Confirmed for speaking at it. It's this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. Neponset Valley will be having our chapter elections on the Saturday afternoon. So go to ydma.org if you are interested in joining us this weekend.
It's all online. Why?
It's all virtual. Yeah, it's all virtual for this.
What is it again? Why?
ydma.org.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Potential new associate members in attendance. I don't think I see anybody I don't know. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's that.
I got one.
You do?
Yeah, right there.
Where?
Who is that?
I'm not sure you can pre-register that young.
I'm telling you, she's voting often, voting early.
Who is that?
That is my son Ryan's daughter, Josephina.
Oh, congratulations.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm officially
Your grandfather.
I am a grandfather. Speak up. What was that? Yeah.
Grandfather. Congratulations.
Yeah, very happy. Everybody's doing good.
That's great.
Yeah.
Okay. Letter to the editor. It was a girl. Josephine.
Josephina.
Josephina. The letter to the editor regarding termination of the ICE contract with Sheridan Hodgson. We sent this out along with Nancy's stuff. That was part of your homework. It was the subject line was homework to look at it. This was Sally's initiative to write the letter to the paper, to the Mansfield News / Independent Journal, whatever it is now. And if people would like to sign, would you approve? We need a motion to approve that we would send this letter on behalf of the committee. And 2, if you'd like your names added, please speak up. So far, only Nancy has told me she wants to add her name. Besides the executive board.
I would like to add my name.
Thank you.
Please
I'll
add Annette. to that.
Annette. Okay, good.
You can add me.
Jean Southard.
You're already there. Jean,
Brando Tatum,
Randy. All right. So next, I love that
Brendan,
last
you can
name.
add.
Brendan,
Sharon Friedman,
Sharon,
Martha
Suzanne.
Martha.
I'm on the phone. I'm on the phone, Deb. This is Jackie.
Okay, Jackie. So you're saying add your name.
Mhm.
Okay.
Suzanne Ironman.
Suzanne. All right.
Did you get me, Deb?
Hmm?
Did you get me?
I did get you. You're already on because we had the executive. She had the executive committee.
Oh,
already.
okay.
All right. So I guess we barely need a motion, but I guess everybody approves this. And maybe we don't need a formal motion. We approve this letter to be sent. Yes.
Could it also be
But we
sent
should-
to the Attleboro Sun?
Yeah, I guess so. It's yeah.
If we're going to
should-
send this with the committee's name, we probably should just take a motion to be proper
Okay.
about it.
I
But
move that
Okay.
the committee- I move that the committee approve this letter to the editor regarding Sheriff Hodgson.
Okay, good. We have a second. Who seconded?
Sharon.
Sharon. Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. All right. And then we'll list. I like listing names because I think it catches eyes. You know. So good. All right. Yeah, we can send it to the Sun Chronicle too. There's a link that to a Wicked Local news report that we should probably take out when we send it to them. But
I just wanted to, this is Sally. I wrote this letter in response to this page-long article about Sheriff Hodgson and this was in the Wicked Local paper. So I'm sure we can address it such that it goes to both papers.
we just can modify it a little to send to the other
Yeah,
paper.
that's right.
Got
That's
that link.
right.
Yeah, because it's been in the Sun Chronicle too. Now he's demanding, like an apology. So Sheriff Hodgson, and that's been the report. Sun Chronicle's been reporting on that. So it's
Okay,
an
great.
ongoing issue. Yeah.
Okay, good. Thank you all.
Thanks for writing it, Sally.
Okay, and then now we need to schedule our future meetings because this is our last scheduled meeting. And we usually take the summer off. So we need to schedule some meetings for September, October, November.
Deb, can I interrupt for just a second?
Sure.
The Family Fun Night is going to be
Oh,
happening in July.
thank you. I had that under pleasure of the committee.
Oh, okay, never mind then. Never mind.
But that's it's worth talking about now because it's the next time we'll probably see each other is July 13th, which is the Family Fun Night is on and in person. And Martha has graciously agreed to deal with our table again as she's done the last several years, but she could use some help.
Thank you, Martha.
I'm happy to help you.
Okay, I can.
Jean, okay. So you need people to sit for some time, right?
Yeah, if you guys,
And what
I
else?
can send out an email, and if people want to, just let me know. I'll put some shifts together. But just kind of a heads up that I will be looking for people to, spend an hour or so, and just to answer questions and whatever people come up with. And if anybody has any ideas for things, in the past I've done like a little quiz thing where people could win raffle tickets for answering questions correctly. And then we had a few like gift cards for like Flint Farm or different places, local businesses. But if anybody has any other ideas for just fun things that would just bring people over to the table, I'm open to any suggestions that people have too. So
Nancy, are you doing something with Mansfield Votes also? And can you do it right next door?
Yeah, I need to respond to the email that offered that opportunity to us again. But yes, we should put the table there again and the voting booth and all that kind of stuff, and perhaps come up with, as Martha's suggesting, some other ideas to bring people over.
Didn't one year did we have vote on your favorite team? The Red Sox and the Bruins and all that. I mean, I don't know. Maybe we've done it before, but it's fun for kids and it's voting and it's kind of nice.
Yeah.
Brendan has his hand up.
Yeah, quick question. Because I thought I saw when the post announcing it, is it only for the downtown businesses? Are they not allowing other group
No, they sent out
tables?
an invitation. We already filled out the form and
Oh,
dropped
okay.
sent them our money.
I
Yeah,
just, all right, I wasn't sure. Thank you.
it's back on. Yeah. I think it's nice that it's back on.
Mhm.
Okay. So Martha's going to put something together, but please think about helping out on July 13th.
What's the time frame for that? That's the
It's
second.
usually like 6 to 9.
I think it's even like 8:30 or something. It's usually, but
Things start dying down pretty early. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I think in the past I've needed help from like 5 to 9 because we need to set up and then clean up too. So I'll probably be looking for people. And even if you're at the thing, if you can just, come by for an hour and then go wander off, and check out other stuff, that would be helpful.
Yeah, I always have good intentions. It's our the second Tuesday of the month is our executive board meeting, which goes from 6 to 7.
Oh.
But I'd like to see, I'd like to see if we can put it, we have to do outreach as well to let people know about the union. Somebody wants to join the union, all that good stuff. So we're supposed to be setting up our own types of booths. I don't know if anybody wants a union booth. Maybe I can get a good excuse and do the meeting through my laptop there, who knows? See how union works,
Sit next to us. Yeah.
Yeah. How do you get the application? Do you know?
I can forward it to you. They just sent it out to people, I guess, who were there last time.
Yeah.
But I'll forward it to you. I'll write myself a note right now.
I don't remember what they do if it rains. Does anybody know?
Yeah, there's usually a rain date. They didn't mention it in this email that if I recall, but they usually pick a rain date like the next night. Okay, meetings for September, October, November. We've had a lot of meetings on a Thursday, so let's pick something that's not a Thursday in September. Dana works every Thursday and she's we've had like about 6 meetings on Thursdays. Huh?
Madam Chair, I just want to bring up something. I've come to your point of view about summer meetings. I see what you mean.
Okay, good.
But I do remember though in years past, we would have like a very late August meeting, like a week before Labor Day. And then we would go September, October, November. So we'd fit an extra one in without real summer meetings. If we start one off like a week before Labor Day, like at late August. I don't know how people feel about that, but it has been done.
How do people feel about that?
I'm fine.
Is it necessary? I mean, I don't know.
Well, what I was thinking is we want to invite all the candidates out, and there seems to be about 100 right now. Exaggerating, but there's many. And I think you and I, Deb, talked about having 2 speakers per meeting. I think it's going to be tight. I think to have an extra one would be good, and I think by the end of August, people would be ready to come back.
Well, it should be the very end of August. But I mean, I don't know. I just feel like we may be doing candidates a disservice if people are still traveling and we don't get that many people.
I don't think it will be late August. I mean, I could be wrong, certainly, but the late August meetings, we usually had an average turnout before, so.
All right.
And then there's also the issue, do we continue doing them virtually or do we return to in person?
How do people feel about that?
I think we can go in person, and then if God forbid there's a spike or something, there's a new variant, we could always switch it back to Zoom. Maybe
I have to say, having it on Zoom eliminates a lot of hassle because you don't have to deal with a space and deal with,
Right.
I don't know, it works. So I'm not quite sure why we would need to be in person. At
I
least for
think
these,
it would
at least until Christmas, and then we can see how we feel.
I agree with you, Deb. I think let's see how the convention goes with everybody in one hall at that time, and then we'll see what happens. That'll be the first time that we're all together with thousands of people, and we might be able to see how that plays out going after that. Yeah.
Maybe
but I agree.
Want to schedule like an informal in-person gathering in late August rather than having a formal meeting. I mean, I'd call it a picnic, but it could just be bring what you want or something. We don't necessarily have to.
Like at Memorial Park or something.
Yeah,
like
I mean, something outdoors because I think a lot. at the very least, people would probably like to see each other.
Yeah.
It's a nice
Yeah.
idea.
Instead of the little box, you know, that you,
Yeah.
You know,
I would like, yeah, I think we need to be in person at some point. I don't know about the last week of August. It's tough, you know, to be in town, back in town, but I definitely like the idea of being in person for either the meetings or a nice get together.
I actually see your point, Deb. I mean, we don't know. Let's plan Zoom meetings. We can see where we're at if we decide we want to get together.
Yeah, if we all get itchy, we can plan something.
Right. It's easier for our speakers too, because like, all right, we had Ben tonight, he's in East Boston. Otherwise, this guy has to schlep down here from East Boston. I mean, how many times have we been waiting for somebody who's late and they're driving? And you know, this is really easy. It just works better than I would have ever imagined.
Right. I think eventually we can switch to live meetings, but we don't have to do it now. We can wait and see what happens. And maybe in the future we do a mixture. Some are in person and some are on Zoom. You know?
Yeah. I think we should schedule the 3 dates and plan on them on Zoom anyway. And then we can always modify it if we want to, but at least until Christmas, and we can revisit it.
I agree.
Okay. So now we just have to pick some dates. All right. So so you're thinking an outdoor gathering somewhere?
But it was just an idea. I mean, we don't have to do something. I mean, you know, in lieu of a formal meeting in August.
I think an outdoor meeting would be great because I'm a little hesitant about being someplace that people aren't vaccinated. If they're not vaccinated, I don't really, want to be indoors, even though,
Well, I think Austin's proposing like a summer social thing, and then we have our 3 formal meetings, September, October, November.
Actually, the Attleboro City Committee just announced that they're having a little get together at Ty Waterman's house. I think I don't know what, maybe July. I'm not sure, but they're doing that as a little get together because they haven't seen each other.
Yeah, but is everyone vaccinated? That's big.
All right.
Well,
if we're outside, it should be okay. So let's tentatively pick a date for that. Like, I'm going to pick a date. August 26th. No, August 30th or 31st. What do you guys think?
Well, an outdoor thing, do you want that on a weekend?
Oh, good point. All right.
That's,
How about
that's
August?
Labor Day weekend.
No, Labor Day weekend's the 6th, 7th.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. All right, like August 29th or something? That's a Sunday.
Do you want to send out a poll?
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do it for that. Let's do.
I mean, because there's so few of us. There's,
Yeah.
Why should we let other people have a voice too?
Good idea. All right, so let's just pick the dates for this so that we can schedule some dates.
Okay.
September. Anybody have a date they want?
Well,
About the 8th.
Yep, that's before.
I'm not, what do you ever do them like the 3rd Wednesday of each month or something like that so they're consistent?
That we used to do that. No, we don't. Actually, we never did that. We always do this. We used to always have them on Wednesdays. Then we started moving them Tuesdays to Thursdays, so that because some people
there's a bunch of town stuff that happens on Wednesdays.
Right.
The select board meets on Wednesdays. The planning board meets on Wednesdays.
So then we started doing Tuesdays and Thursdays and alternating, so that to make more availability for more people.
Right.
So that's not that it's a bad suggestion, Ron. It's not.
But that is
FYI.
That's a good point, though.
September 8th is the second day of Rosh Hashanah.
Okay, how about September 15th?
The 15th is Yom Kippur.
Is Yom Kippur, yeah.
Okay, how about
the 21st?
What about the 14th?
Okay.
Okay, so you're getting really close to the convention. So I don't know if you want to have a meeting as a touch base before the convention.
Yeah, September 21st is okay. Anyone mind that?
No.
Okay, September 21st it is. October. That's usually the times we meet anyway, right? Around the. How about October? So September 21st is a Tuesday. So how about October 20th?
20th? Yeah, why not?
Okay, that's a Wednesday. And then November, let's see, the Thanksgiving is the 25th. So how about like the 18th? Does that work for people?
Yeah, that looks good.
Actually, there's a state committee meeting that day. I mean, you don't have to schedule it around that, but There
Is
are
it that day or that night?
that night, the 18th.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, want to pick a different day?
Do you want to keep it a Thursday?
No, I just thought because we had a Tuesday and a Wednesday, I don't
Yeah.
have strong feelings about it.
Well, we don't want it on Thanksgiving. Oh, wait a minute.
How about if we do it the Monday after the state committee meeting? And that way we can give you a report.
The 22nd? That's the Monday of Thanksgiving week. I'm not quite
Oh,
sure.
okay. All right. That's crazy. Yeah.
Do it that Tuesday then, Tuesday the 16th then. That may be the best bet.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, we were Thursday heavy this spring, so we'll be Tuesday heavy in the fall.
Yeah. That's fine.
Okay. Okay.
And as of now, we'll be planning them for Zoom. Right?
Yes. Okay, that's it for that. Pleasure of the committee. Joe?
First of all, Brendan, thanks for your Young Democrats work. Maybe in the next time we send an email, we can include the address for that so people can look up the convention and everything. Also, I mentioned Blueprint before, Blueprint 22. They're offering a series of workshops, many of them. And I'm going to try to go to as many as possible, but I can't go to all of them, obviously. Maybe people might want to take a look at that and sign up. Is that possibly something we can forward and encourage people to sign up for? And that way, maybe between all of us, we have all those workshops covered. They're on different grassroots organizing and that kind of thing.
Joe, that's a really good idea. I saw some of that. Nigel Simon sent it to me. There's a lot of exciting stuff. And if you could, is there a way to share the link to that so everyone can read it, or what is he?
Yeah, I was wondering, Deb, could we have that sent out?
Okay. Yeah, do I have it?
I don't know. I'll send it to you.
Yes.
Probably
Okay.
do, but I can send it to you.
They have a meeting coming up June 16th.
Yeah, Gus just sent out an email tonight. The next meeting's on the 16th.
I'll make sure you get that, Deb.
Okay, that's probably in my email that I haven't seen yet.
Yeah, it looks like there's one training a month that is scheduled in different topics.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. Also, I'd like to make a motion that we form a resolutions committee to be appointed by the chair. I don't know if people care how many. I'm thinking maybe 5. So that way in the future, there could be, a core of people that can maybe weed out some of the issues, do some of the research, and maybe come up with a recommendation, or at least be able to present the pros and cons. It doesn't need to be in the bylaws either. We can put it in the bylaws, but committees don't have to be in the bylaws.
All right, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
I second
I'll
it,
second it.
Jackie.
Okay.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All right.
All right, well, we've got to start looking for some people to join this committee. Anybody opposed?
Joe, would you repeat what the purpose of the committee is?
So when resolutions are presented to us, when a resolution is on an agenda to support something or oppose something, whatever, that there's a core of people that get in the weeds and really research an issue out and present the information to us, maybe make a recommendation that they for it or against it.
You mean the resolutions that will be discussed at the convention?
No, resolutions
No.
up before.
Go ahead,
This
Joe.
act on mass thing we were just talking about, for example, like we have people coming from various organizations and talking about their issues.
Okay, all right. My audio when Joe speaks is not totally clear, so that I didn't get that. Okay.
Okay.
I understand now. Thank you.
Because we do have people coming from time to time that present something, and then you know.
Or a member might even want to present something sometime, and I just
Yeah.
think it's good that we be
Or a
prepared.
ballot issue.
Okay. All right. Does anybody have anything else?
I have a mundane question.
Okay.
When you go to vote, how or where do you find out the results?
What do you mean?
Like, I voted, I mean, Is it online? Is it supposed to be? I don't know where to go to find out who won what position.
Like, you mean for the town election?
Yeah, town
Yeah,
election.
period. Yeah.
Oh, usually it's on Mansfield Cable, like who won is on Mansfield Cable that night. And then if you really want to know, you can go up to the high school and wait around.
I think the town clerk's office posted on their
They
site.
usually get posted on the town website and also on the Facebook page, although sometimes it's not immediate.
Because something came out with who had won, but it was dated April 9th. This shouldn't make any sense at all. So.
Wait, for the recent elections?
Yeah. Yeah. And it said April 9th, and one of my friends wrote in and said, "Is this real?" So I said, "I have no idea. I don't know." Yeah.
You know, Deb, it might be good if the town committee posted the results for our members.
Of who won?
Yeah, we can definitely post the town results on our website at the very least. I mean, I've been trying to be good and get the official results from the town clerk for our own archives anyway, so that's an easy step.
Yeah, the town clerk puts out something that's got by precinct, how many votes by precinct, and then the totals. She usually has that night.
I agree, though. I couldn't find it easily either. So I think it would be interesting to have. That's a good suggestion, Jean.
Yeah, it is.
And Ron, that's good.
All right. We got to remember that for the next, that'll be a year from now, right? So, or 11 months anyway.
Deb?
Yeah.
We had, since we haven't been able to have a breakfast for a couple of years, 3 years, 2 years, didn't we have some discussion about possibly having one in the fall?
Yes, thank you. I had thought about that, and we probably should have discussed that. Yeah.
I think
we should do it.
Yeah, I think it would be a good idea. People are lining up for the governorship, and there's some interest there in that race, and we could see whether Congressman Auchincloss would be able to come, and
sure would.
possibly
he would be the first step, and then maybe in October. Jane?
Yeah, I'm concerned about this though, because some of our members are concerned already about indoor meetings, and an indoor meal is even more of an issue, I think, if you're worried about catching something from somebody who's across the table from you. So I'm not sure that the committee is ready to do something this fall like that. I wish we were, but I'm not sure that people are all on board with this.
Yeah, and what I have in mind is the Elks Hall, and that definitely, I would be suspicious about the ventilation and so forth. So we probably should, I love the Elks Hall, but maybe we should put it off.
I think maybe revisit it after the holidays. Yeah.
Yeah, either that or have it in August and have an outdoor one. And have a picnic.
Okay.
That's possible, yeah.
Is there an outdoor venue? Oh, MMAS, but they're Republicans. Wait a minute.
He's not really a Republican.
Do you have an outdoor space at the Union Hall, Hugh?
To do a breakfast catered, we never had like a.
No, it couldn't be a breakfast. It'd have to be like a bring your own sandwich kind of thing. I mean, if it were MMAS too, it would be the same thing. But MMAS in the summer caters to the Xfinity Center.
My question is Annette, were you looking at this as we used to do it as a fundraiser, or is this just a social? Because we already decided that she would send out a poll for the social.
I was thinking of it as a fundraiser, the way we usually do, but
Yeah. I don't think people are ready for that yet.
yeah.
I think that probably you might have to hold off till next spring to see how this, everything's working out.
I agree.
Well, you know, we all miss it. We all like it. We all look forward to it coming back. The fact is, we're in good financial shape. Mary Kate and her committee has done very great things finding other ways to raise money. It's not like we're not raising money and we don't have money. So we don't really have an urgency for that either. You know, so I kind of agree with just waiting for that.
Well, right, or if we did something and wasn't for a fundraiser, it was just a get together.
Right, that's one thing.
And then see if Jake Kloss can come.
Yeah, we already decided to do that anyway, so.
Well, we're gonna send out a poll asking people,
Yeah.
but we still need a location. Brendan, do you have your right hand up? You're on mute, you're on mute.
Pretty much from the time I put my hand up to now, everything that I was going to say has been said. I agree with Joe saying like we were in pretty good financial shape. I think we can push off the fundraiser portion at least for that for a breakfast of some sort till the spring. Maybe we could do another trivia night in the fall or something. But also, I think if we were to do a social in August, we could always invite any candidates or Auchincloss as well, and anyone who's in the area, because that'll be the recess anyway. So so that'd probably be more likely to have the ability to get people.
And I need a new T-shirt. Mine got dirty already.
Just need a location.
Buy another T-shirt if there's some more around.
Oh. You have a T-shirt, Mary Kate? Okay, anything else?
Well, I
Right,
guess
you're
the answer to the
muted, Mary
question
Kate.
before, if you want to use the hall, just let me know for whatever. So,
But can we do anything outside? I mean, we could just kind of use the parking lot to, like the parking lot on a Sunday, right?
absolutely, and I can leave the bathroom door open and there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would work, right? Well, we got to put our cars and ourselves separate from our
The air
cars, but I
conditioning.
guess we can figure that out.
I'm good.
Keep the AC on for those of us who don't like being out in the heat. For those of us who
Yeah,
prefer
no,
to get over
the
them.
hall would be a good place.
Yeah.
Bring tables, right? You have a microphone we could take outside?
It does not. Oh no, I think I might have an old one from the old days. I do have a little speaker and a microphone wire amp set up. It might still be there, but.
All right, good. All right, so I guess so. So we decided we were going to send something out to the whole committee asking them what they thought, right? About an August get together.
And an assortment of dates. Yeah.
End of August. Okay, assortment of dates. I don't know like that. I mean, we can't really do Labor Day weekend, so it'd have to be August 22nd, 29th kind of thing, right? Yeah. All right. Okay, anything else? All right, motion to adjourn?
So move.
Okay.
A second?
Second?
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, any opposed? Okay. All right. All right, thanks, everybody.
Good night.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you.
All
Thank you.
right.